Welcome to Module 7, which is attracting your customers. Now, in the previous modules, you've gone through a series of exercises that helped you go deeper into what you do, help you identify the benefits of your service or product, and help you communicate with the public. Now, all that information is going to arm you for this exercise. It's going to help you in delivering the message to the public, to potential clients, of exactly what you do. So we're going to look at the avenues that you can use to give this message now that you are clearer on your message. So I'm going to go through a series of options you have to speak to the public, whether it's online or whether it's one-on-one in person. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a small group or a large group. The beauty of today's world is that you can record your demonstration. You can do all sorts of things. The options are unlimited today on how you can reach out and find the people that need to see you, that want to see you. They're out there, and you just need to deliver the message. The first option you have to host an event can be an event that you do at home or a friend's house. Now, this is really great because you can record your event. You now can advertise the benefits that people will get. You can decide whether you're going to charge or whether you'll ask for a donation or whether it will be free. So it's up to you. What is the purpose of it? Is it the purpose to get potential leads? So if it's potential leads, it can be an information day so people can just come over and sample what you do. And now that you have the wording all clarified, you can let people know what the benefits are of coming to your event. Another way to host an event is to do it via Zoom, Skype, Hangouts. There's so many options, free options, where you can bring people together and display your services or your product, answer questions. Again, you need to make it enticing so people turn up, and be professional when you do it. Make sure that there's an email confirmation to them. You've really got to make sure that this isn't something haphazard, then people will show up. If you look like you're not organized, they won't be organized to turn up. So you'll need things like sending an email just before the event. You could even send out a group text message. You work out how you're going to do it. Now, Google is your best friend. So if you want to know how to do something, Google it, and Google will tell you. Get used to being resourceful. Expos are another great way to network and get the message out there. Now, they can be quite expensive depending on what expos you go to, or you can go to the smaller events in your community, which I highly recommend. What this does is gets you networking, gets you practicing what your message is, relaying information. Like, all of it is fantastic. And when you're committed and you continue to look for ways to give out a message, you're always ahead of everybody else, and then you just never know. And it's so much fun. I love doing expos, and I used to help out other modalities. I used to do them for other healing modalities, and I wasn't paid, but I'd rock up and I worked for like 3 days running, and I just had so much fun. The experience was great. I wasn't I didn't care about not being paid. It was the experience that I gained from it. So I highly recommend that you look at doing an expo or going in partnership with someone else and sharing a booth, going to your local expos, and practice what information you're going to, relay to these potential customers. Work out how to attract them. When we would do an expo, we would say, I looked at all the other booths and I'd look at the ones that were busy, and the ones that were busy were basically the ones that had like psychic readings or even free stuff, like a free psychic reading or something like that. So what we did, and we were flat out, we would say free life pattern reading, and that used to have them lined up. We didn't have enough girls to either do appointments or do the free readings. We were always running behind. And what that did was they would say, okay, well, what's a free reading? And we'd have the patterns up on the wall, and then they would be looking at the patterns, and they were curious to know what was their pattern and what age, did something get embedded. So we would ask them what was the condition they want us to work on, whether it was a relationship issue or pain or whatever. Then we would show them, find the pattern. We energetically read the pattern and then the age. And then they go, yeah, that makes sense. And you could always and then by talking to somebody, you can get a feel of them. And if they loved that, then they were happy to have a healing. And if they didn't like it, then you didn't bother talking to them anymore and you go find someone else. But they would, it got them speaking to you, and then they would get a healing. So it was really awesome. I just used to, you watch people that got busy, and that was really great way we got really busy. And the other thing is that when you take the time to go to an expo, especially a Mind, Body, Spirit expo or something that's quite well advertised, it shows your customer or potential leads that you are serious. Then they see you, and then they have it in the back of their mind that they saw you once, and then they're familiar with you. So it's just really, a great way to get a message out there, and I highly recommend attending them. Social media is the way forward on getting a message out there, and you can set up multiple platforms and share one video on the multiple platforms. Podcasting is another great way to get a message out there. It's in Australia. It's one of the fourth, it says here, largest consumers of podcasts is Australia. So it doesn't matter what country you're from, but it's up to you to see whether it's worthwhile for you to create a podcast, or better still, see if you can assist someone else in their podcast, be a guest on their show. And so, look for some people that have podcasts that would love to bring you on as an expert in your area, and tell them what you can offer them and the benefits that you could offer your viewers. Now, if you aren't used to speaking, this is where you will start practicing speaking. You will get on a video and practice. When I create these courses, I am practicing speaking to you, and I've been practicing for a long time. And yeah, I muck up all the time, but it doesn't matter. That's what editing's for now, and editing software is actually not too hard to use. But you can practice. I've seen so many great, practitioners that just bear their testimony of something, and they amazing. You don't recognize how great you are. So you can just record yourself speaking and get used to watching yourself and critiquing yourself on what you could improve. Instagram is another area where you can advertise. Now, again, you're going to be selective in which platforms you're going to use and which will serve you the best, because it takes some time, effort, and energy keeping these platforms and keeping people engaged, because if you just post something every now and then, you're not going to attract many followers. So when you use a platform, make sure that you will be able to commit to it. And if you're doing videos, then just make sure you create platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, and also your website where you can upload one video but spread the message on all those different platforms. There is, of course, I've got Facebook there. That's another, get a Facebook business page, and you can put videos up there and they sit there, and then put them on your website, put them on YouTube, keep them up there. Another thing is blog posts. So this is so great. If you can write a really good blog post, which includes video, it includes, top 10 facts, do numbering, put in really good information, and put in good keywords in there. It can be found on Google, and write a blog post that answers questions that people might be seeking, so that if they find your blog post, then you can advertise your services on there. You can say, write the post, and then you can put at the bottom, well, this is my website, this is the services I offer. Because someone reads something that they like, they go, well, I like that person. And if you have a video on there, it gets a higher ranking, then it gets a message out there. So write blog posts that help people with their problems. I've got blog posts that hit number 1 in Google. because I've done it so well, I actually, because I don't have a lot of time, I'll go on to Upwork or Fiverr, and I think I've got a girl on Fiverr, and she's really great at researching and getting me information. So I'll give her a subject and she'll go write about it, and I'll take that, then I'll add my own spin and add my own stuff and then add a video, and it takes me a quarter of the time it used to take me to write a blog post. And then, well, of course, there's the editing, and that's also another big part of blog post. And I'll look at a blog post and then you'll be surprised at how many mistakes you might find, but make sure you do it as best you can. Some of my blog posts are edited and some of them aren't, but the more professionally it's written, the better you look. And most blog posts have errors on it anyway. So if you have less, because that annoys people, I know, it annoys me when I've got them on my own blog post. It's just, puts you ahead of the game, and you will have that information out there forever. It also improves your SEO for your website. Gathering testimonials is another great way to advertise your services or your product. Forensic Healing actually has a testimonial book. So we've collated lots of information that people have said about us, and we've popped it in a little testimonial book. We have lots of footage of people talking about forensic healing. So we've just collated it, and then we've dispersed it throughout our website, or if people want to download the book, they can read that book on what other people say about our services. But that really supports who you are. It shows that you have people that love you, people that love your services, and you'll need to ask people though for it. You'll need to say, could you please write a testimonial? That would be great. I've seen some awesome testimonials of practitioners asking their clients or customers to video a testimonial, and it's like when you watch someone else talk about you, that's going to sell you so easily. It just puts you ahead, gives you leverage. You can throw it up on YouTube and it gets the word out there. And, people, and the more information you put out there, and the more connection people can have with you. Another way to get your message out there is to list yourself on free directories. There's lots of free directories out there, but some of them don't have as much pull as you think they do. I would recommend that you take their website and put them in a Google page ranking search, so that you can see what page ranking they are, so that you can see whether it's worth your while putting all your information on their directory. Because if they're very low, as in 1 or 2, ranking 1 or 2, then I wouldn't really bother. But anything from 3 and above is great. You could add your information. Again, it takes time, but once you do it once, that's great. Now there is a new site launched called therapies. A little disclosure, I have gone in partnership with therapies because it was such a great concept. It's where if you can do your job online that helps people, that's the place that you can add your profile, whether it's psychology, medical doctor, whether it's meditation, yoga, whether it's energy healing, whether it's psychology, nurse, whatever. If you can help people, financial coaching, if you can help people and do it online, then you can list yourself as a therapist there, and you can apply for a job. So what it is that someone can advertise a job they want done. They say, I need some help with my finances. I need some financial coaching. I need some energy healing. I need an animal healing. I need my house cleansed, energetically cleansed. They put a job up there and you can apply for that job. And if they put a job up there, you can get notified that there's a job posted and you can apply for it, and you will get extra clients. You could get a long-term client from using that platform. So it's recently launched, so it is a global platform. It's similar to Airbnb. It's similar to, a global platform where people come together and share their services, or people need help right there on the spot. They can post a job. So it's an upcoming new fresh platform. Highly recommend you go there, list what you do there, and then you can browse around and find a job that you can take on and get paid for. So there's other platforms that you can use. I've already mentioned Groupon, but you've got Hopfrog, Gumtree, All Events. These global platforms that are free, where you can put your services or an event or what you do online. And if it's free, it doesn't hurt. So what you'll need to have already defined is, about yourself or about your services, this standard information about you and your services and the benefits. Now, we already went over that. Those previous modules help you define exactly how to give that message in a succinct manner to your potential customers and leads. So you'll be ahead of the game, but the more you get yourself out there, the more opportunity that people will pick up on who you are. Sometimes you just need one person. Maybe it's a journalist, maybe it's someone that knows someone else that tells all their friends. Maybe it's just someone that, just can't stop talking about you and just sends everyone over to you. It doesn't matter, but the thing will be is if you keep consistent with all of these steps that I've outlined, you will at least double your existing clientele if you do these steps. Exercise 7A is a table that you're going to fill out on the platforms you are going to create, and the frequency you are going to post on them, and the purpose for those platforms. So this will create a schedule and keep you committed to your social media platforms or the marketing platforms that you are going to use. Exercise 7B is about creating a special or something to promote. So when you talk about a special or a freebie, it kind of entices people in. Now, just be mindful that when you say something is for free, if it's not done really well and looks really classy, people won't be interested, because some people don't like free stuff. I personally aren't really into doing something for free, because I prefer just to go and pay for something. That is my thinking. So if it's going to be free, make sure that it's well advertised. Now, I have done free events in the past, but they were really well advertised. There was a lot of money that went into creating them, and this was probably about 7 years ago that we would, you'd put advertisements in the paper and things like that. It's a different world today. And so just make sure that if it's going to be free, it looks like it's done professionally. But if you have like a special and it does cost them something, but not too much, people will go, oh, good, you know what? I want to know about that. And if they pay, then they're generally going to be a paying customer, as opposed to someone that just wants to get something for free. So table 7B is where you are going to list potential specials and offers that you might put on your platforms and that you can start organizing now, so that it puts out there an interest, because everyone, again, likes to get sort of a discount or know that they get a good price for something. You can start working that out. Are you going to do a 2-for-1 offer or a 3-session discount? Work all these things out, because when someone sees you once, that you could say, well, listen, I've got this bundle here. You can get even 10 sessions or 5 sessions. Start having all these things sorted out, so that then they purchase in advance a bundle of services to see you. Or here's one where it says free online mini session. So you can say, hey, I can offer you a free 15-minute little consultation. That could be a good thing to record too. If someone wants to know how that all works, you could ask that person, say, hey, do you mind if I record this? And it may or may not be used for marketing. So, some people are okay with it, some people aren't. But start trying out different methods so that you understand how they work. We've done a lot over time, and everything changes. And so we generally do a special at the beginning of the year and mid-year. So that's how we've decided to do our specials. We have that fairly consistent, and then so that we know, our whole business knows that's coming up, and new people on board that have been following us haven't seen that offer. They'll know that they'll get that offer and then they'll jump on board. But we don't offer specials regularly for that very fact that when it does come up, people go, oh, I'm going to jump on that because I've been wanting to either do forensic healing or I've been wanting to see her as a practitioner. That's how you've got to have this mindset of being careful with all the specials if you are, all your discounts. Okay, so we've given you a lot of food for thought. So just take note and watch other people's offers and their specials and the platforms they advertise on, and just be alert now to all the things that we talk about, and then decide where you're going to place your energy to get the message out there, because there is so much that you can do.